So, I haven't been, honestly, I don't think I've ever been like a big New Year's resolution person. Um, and I don't know, I can't really tell you why. I think a long time ago, hope y'all can hear me. I did not bring the good headphones and it's super windy. But I think in the past, what I saw is that people would get to the end of the year and maybe they had lots of regrets, and then the new year comes and they set themselves up for this big overhaul, and they do it kind of once a year with the calendar. They want to manifest all these things and make all these changes, which is fantastic that you want to do that. But I got to a point where I figured out that its manifestation is not for one season. That reflection, that let me take a look at my life and let me see what I want to create, is not an end of year. It's not just for your birthday. It's not after you experience a heavy loss maybe in your life and no significant changes. It's not a seasonal thing. And so as much as I say that, and as much as I talk about New Year's is not the only time to manifest, I can tell you one thing I do like about this time of year. And that is people are in the dream state. So even if things have not been as they would have liked them to be in the last year, and maybe they didn't accomplish everything they wanted to accomplish, there's that dream state of next year will be better. Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow I will do things for myself. These are things that I owe myself, and I will do it better. What are the possibilities? And so that is the one thing that I truly do appreciate about this time of year, is that everyone is in that state. And there's a power in being surrounded by people who are all in that state. Hopefully it supercharges things that you already wanted to do. So for me, I love to see that people are taking the time for themselves, spending time with family, starting to hopefully foster relationships for the new year, like getting a good start on that through the holidays and through New Year's. Oh, we may have to go the other way because it is quite sunny. I think this might be better. Yes. So anyway, that's what I love about this time of year. It's just being in the company of people that are dreaming. Eventually we want to get to the state, right, where we're dreaming all the time. We don't have to dream at the end of the year. We can dream in January. We can dream on a Wednesday. We can dream on a Friday. And we can manifest so many wonderful things for our life. We can make our relationships better on a Tuesday. And I think that's where you get, the power from knowing that the only person that turns off the manifestation on and off is you. I've done it myself. I've gotten to the point where I've pushed and I've manifested lots of things, or I've gotten to the point where I've manifested, like got to the edge of something great about to happen, something that I wanted, and I get right to the edge and then I stop. I pull back. The universe is not granting it for me. There's no higher power saying that you cannot have it. It is Jenée saying, oh, you know what? Maybe there's a little fear in that. Maybe there's, I don't know, not a fear of success. I don't think that, but I know that it stops because of me. And so if anything, if there's a New Year's resolution, I don't know, for myself maybe, is that there's not going to be any more stopping. I'm tired of putting the brakes on things because it's so evident. It's so crazy. It's so wild. There's no reason for me to put a stop on anything and put the brakes on anything I'm dreaming of. Because I have so much evidence that basically I'm unstoppable. And so are you guys. Like, you start to figure out there is no way that things stop in motion unless you stop them. Like, it has to be an internal feeling. You're the one that puts the brakes on things. And so I'm going to say, I don't say New Year's resolution, but moving forward, that is one thing I do want to work on, is because I have so much evidence in my life of being great. And you guys have evidence too. A lot of times we don't even see it. Oh, I have to tell you this. I went to an event. I was invited to an event this past weekend with Brandy. And I can't remember Brandy's last name. Some of you may follow her. But anyway, a friend invited me to go with her. And she did an event talking about a good end. And it was more about taking a life audit at the end of the year in order for you to move forward with some more focus and intention. And if you guys know me, you know I'm really big about focus and intention in our lives and trying to foster that in everything that we do, from the relationships we have, the way we spend our time, where we spend our money, where we spend our money, the spaces we tend to gravitate towards and give our energy to. Really big about that. So I went to her event. It was fantastic. And in the life audit process, you guys tell me if it is too windy out here, because I'm doing a live out here in this wide open area. Look, as I was out taking a walk, the weather in Texas today is glorious. It's reminding me of Europe, which is why I can say it's glorious. It's giving me my Portugal vibes, even though I so miss all of my friends and family, new family there. But I have Portugal today in Texas. And this is what I'm talking about as far as like living with intention. When I saw the weather, I was actually doing some work today. And I decided, I was like, I'm going to do some work. And then when I saw the temperature, I said, let me do some things that I wanted to get off of my list for today. And then I'm getting outside. Because a lot of times when I'm taking a walk, I don't know if you guys do this too, but you can tell me. When I'm taking a walk and I'm here and you know my desires, if you know me, are to eventually spend more time abroad and move abroad. Right now, I just go back and forth. Get lots of time in Mexico, sometime in Europe. But I want to be there full time because it fosters not only this person that you see, it's like it helps me grow. Have you guys, can y'all hear me? I feel like somebody just shoot me a thumbs up to tell me tell me, girl, it's too windy. It's too windy. We can't hear you. So, I think, so going back to the event and starting your year with intention, yes. A lot of times we look back and there's a lot of stuff that happened that we didn't remember. And I was guilty of that. Even though I am what I consider the queen of life hacks. I have a life hack starter guide that I created, which is absolutely free. And it's something that I wanted people to be able to look at and say, these are the questions I need to ask in my life. And from answering these questions, I get a clearer vision of who I am choosing to be, right? Who I'm choosing to be. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. So in that, when I went to Brandy's event, her life audit was very similar to my own life audit that I was doing. I just didn't call it that, right? And so it's great to be, even though I facilitate that for others, it's always wonderful to go in someone else's space that has a beautiful spirit and let them facilitate that for yourself, right? To let them walk you through the process. Yes. Ask yourself, ask yourself what went well and what didn't, and how you could change it next time, and what you want to spend more time on. Exactly. And I think it's one of those things where, even if things didn't go well, right? I always caution people that it doesn't have to be that it went well if it was a growing moment, right? Because growing is not always the most, the easiest thing to do. That's why it's called growing pains. But it's really sometimes the things that we need, right? So I've started to try to not look at those learning moments as definitely not failures, maybe challenges, and maybe, if anything, not even challenges, opportunities for me to continue to grow towards the person that I'm desiring to be. It's a lifelong process. Ain't nobody trying to get to the end and think we've made it. When you accept that, each and every year is a good year. When you accept that this is a lifelong process, every year is a good year. There's just, the components change, the components shift. And in that, it's still a good year. It's always a good year. So, I'm out enjoying the weather. I wonder what you guys are up to today. I will be in Texas until end of January. Yes, end of January. I'm excited. I will be returning to Tulum to do my, it's supposed to be every 9 months, retreat with my spiritual partner, who is also like my life sister from another mother. It's just us two, and we try to go every 9 months. We've been on this journey together for a few years now, and we'll be returning at the end of January. And there's always something beautiful that comes out of it. It's like a necessary thing. We miss it. We're overdue. We've had a lot going on. All good things. We've had a lot going on. Luxury problem to have. We've had a lot of things going on, and we are overdue. I think, has it been a year? It might have been a year. And we're supposed to be at like 9 months, 6 to 9 months we go. Anyway, it's really something. It's really time for reflection, and we spend 4 or 5 days down there on the beachfront. There's tons of journaling. There's always an agenda. We have an agenda beforehand. There's always a theme. There is always a lot of vulnerability that is shown. And, oh, I froze. Next time on the retreat. Yes. Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year. Yes, I was telling you guys about sunshine. We're going to see. We're going to keep going this way. Maybe when I come back around. Still at work. Oh, you're still at work. Looking forward to having tomorrow off. Yes. I hear you. I know that if I could I put you outside with me today, like virtually? Virtually, because you're still at work. I have had those days as well, where I have been, and this is crazy because I work for myself, but I've had days where I have put in too much energy to work, and I didn't balance my day enough for me, right? So when I worked in corporate, it was really hard to do that because, right, you're on somebody else's schedule. And so, yes, being at work, I would do a lot of kind of like, you're at work but you're walking with me outside today. Yeah, I would do some of that. I used to have music playing that would remind me of my retreats. I would like play Tulum beats or something like that. There was always something to keep my mind not trapped in the physical location where I was. So I still use that here. Even though I travel more now than I ever did, Texas is still my base for now. And so when I'm here and when like this, I know this is not my desired end to be here all year, but when I'm here now, I still use the visioning and the music and the, like, I put myself somewhere else. Like you see me walking now, but in my mind, I might be listening to a French lounge beat and thinking about being in the south of France. And then you know what? Next year I will be in the south of France. I have always done that, and it has fostered that strong desire, keep that desire flame burning, that even if I'm sitting in my cubicle, locked in an office when I used to be locked in an office, it'd be like things would eventually start to happen. So that's how I ended up out in the streets anyway, is that you do enough of that flame burn real hot. And eventually the universe will give you opportunities to make things happen. So of course, with your assistance, this is not a like hand it over on a silver platter. You got to learn to say no to what you need to say no to. And then when it's time to receive, you need to learn how to say yes to the things you're supposed to say yes to. And that in and of itself is an art. A lot of us, have started working on, we need to set boundaries. So we're just learning the process of saying no and not having to qualify it, right? Not qualifying why we said no. And that's a journey, right? We go through that journey and we're like, okay, now we know how to say no. But then comes we need to know when to receive and when to say yes, and when to celebrate when it comes. A lot of times, this is what came out of my personal life audit on the weekend. And we did different categories, and one that I picked was career. It was career. I'm trying to think what all she had in that category. It was like career and work and purpose. I think they were all in the same category. So in that, and that was, I don't want to say it was an easy category for me, but it was an easier category, meaning for me to reflect on the entire year, because that was very much documented, like either on my phone or in the work that I've done. I could go back through the calendar and I could see, oh, I did these things, right? Another thing that came out of that for me, though, is that besides the putting the brakes on things, which I've been fully aware of this year, and some of it I did do on purpose, right? Because I was shifting my energy to manifest something else that was priority at the time. In this case, it was getting more clients because we need to, have that financial footing so that we can continue to do all the things. So I did do a little pause on some other things so that I could create what I have now, which is a great group of clients, right? Now we got that, I can use my energy for something else and go back to the other categories. And sometimes you have to do that, which is perfectly fine. You're just trying to, because things happen faster when you dedicate all your energy to that one thing. You're spreading it out over like 5 things. Things will still happen, but that dedication is golden. So I was going to tell you something else that came out of my life audit. Jump on, do a quick live. I figure people might be getting out and about, or they might still be, like you said, in the office. But you could be out here with me today and we could talk about how you don't have to do this dreaming and visioning process once a year. It is not a once a year thing. Manifestation is not a once a year thing. You can always be in that dream state. And you can always be creating each and every day, like every moment of the day, something that is for the life that you envision for yourself. But you have to be the one to do it. We're responsible for our life. I tell people that. It's like you hear people say this person is this and this. I do hear all of that. I hear what you tell me about your environment, but in the end, They're not going to fix what you want fixed in your life. They're not going to bring it to you. They're not going to say, oh, you really should have these things. You have to determine that for yourself, and then you have to create that. So that is my pep talk on New Year's Eve. Pep talk on New Year's. Hey, what's... Hi. Well, I'm out walking, and so it's New Year's Eve, and so I've just been taking anyone who needed a break out on a walk with me. And we've been talking about that the end of the year is not the only time for you to manifest things in your life. I mean, we're going to use the time. We're going to use the fact that everyone is in a dream state of creating wonderful things for their life and like reassessing their life. But we don't do this one time a year, okay? We're not going to wake up tomorrow and everything's going to be done. The work's going to be done for us. And we want to keep energy year round. Energy towards intentionally creating a beautiful life. Whatever that looks like to you. Like I tell people, I may mentor or I may inspire. I'm inspiring you or mentoring you towards what you want and what you need. I don't know what that is. I'm just helping you find that, because it's all going to look different. All going to look different for each individual. That's the beautiful part about it. We don't need to carbon copy somebody else's life or carbon copy someone else's style, their look. I think we need to do a little bit more in celebrating that diversity, even the diversity of how people choose to live. As much as I know for me, the answer is to move overseas to foster the life that I want, the way I want to eat, right? The society I want to be in energy-wise. I do have some of that here. Like I can create that here too. It's just I'm choosing to do that overseas because it's easier and it's in abundance, right? It's in abundance. But for you, everything you need, you can still create here. Maybe what you want to create is here, and that's okay too. So you will not see me saying that everyone should move overseas. Now, personally, if your list looks like mine, like you want great food and healthy food at a low price without all the pesticides and all that type of thing. You want great health care that is low cost that you can pay out of pocket. You want to be in a place that is extremely safe. So much so that when we were in Europe, it was not common. I mean, it was not common for me to go out to get dinner and walk by myself from the hotel. And we're in the city of Lisbon. And my husband be like, okay, tell Anil, the name of the guy who owned the restaurant, because we went there so often, tell him I said hi when you go pick up the food. And not a second thought of me walking down areas that here, there's no way in the world I'd be walking down this little one strip with one little light and people hanging on the street. And when I tell you they ain't thinking about me, they wasn't thinking about me at all. So anyway, it depends on your list, right? So if your list is like mine, then yeah, maybe you do need to leave. Maybe you do need to get out the country. But that doesn't mean that your list could be different and that what you need, you can get here. And I'm truly a believer in you can create what you need where you are. Some areas may make it easier. Like I said, living overseas for me is like pressing the easy button. May not be, people may say, oh, well, it's not easy to move overseas. That's a whole nother conversation. Because it's not hard either. It's not hard to move overseas either. That being said, you live each and every day, right? So for me, I wouldn't be out walking now if I wanted to sit in the house and wait until I travel for my next house sit, my next luxury house sit, or wait until I go to Europe to experience a little Europe weather, right? Right? Why would I do that when we're not promised how many days we have, right? So each and every day I try to put something in that day that when I lay my head to sleep tonight, I literally can lay there and like close my eyes and be like, let me rewind the day, and I can tell you, I can see like the glimpses of the things that are part of my new life, right? Like, even though I'm here, and yeah, I haven't moved abroad yet, there are little components each and every day that are like, hey, they telling me, hey, you still getting it in. There are still things that are happening that are what you desire to have as part of your life. It could be something simple. It could be like you had a healthy breakfast and you intend to eat healthy every morning, right? It could be just that. It could be that one thing. But likely it's going to be a few things, but you have to look for them. That's what I tell people. People are like, oh, I just don't see anything happening. It's like, because you're looking for the big things. You're looking for the big things. You don't need to look for the big things. Go to bed at night. And although you can do gratitude in the morning, which is wonderful, do gratitude all the time. But at night, get yourself in a bed, lay down, and before you go to sleep, do two things. One, rewind your day and look for the little components of your new life that were scattered in that day. Like, look for them. Like I said, it could have been you woke up and you felt good that morning, or you exercised. I don't know, whatever's on your list that is part of the new person you want to be, go look for them things and look hard. Don't be just like glancing over the day or whatever. So for me, because it's the end of the day, right, and you're already tired and you're getting to that state, that dream state where you're starting to fall asleep, you need to really rewind the day. So don't go like, what did I do this morning or whatever. No, be like, I got in the bed, and before I got in the bed, I did my face routine. Bingo. That's a person I want to be. I want to be a person that does self-care in the evening. And I did that. Okay, what did I do before that? Okay, before that, I spent some time and I took the dog out to take a walk. And it was so peaceful. And that's the person I want to be. I want to be at peace. Bingo. That's another thing you found out of your day that is part of the new life that you want, the new person. Yes, the smallest milestones matter. And we act like they don't. We're trying to get to like this end goal. There is no end goal. Life is every day. Life is every day. When you get to the end, you're not here anymore. Okay? So stop looking for the end goal. This is a continuous process, a continuous learning, enjoyable process. So, create the remainder of the year. Whatever you got going right now, if you're those, if you like feeling that vibe and you like, I can do anything, girl, you can do anything all year. We get a push at the beginning. I got to say this, because y'all have seen it. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. We get a push at the beginning of the year. New Year's, everybody out, they doing all the things, they dropping all the products, they doing all that, right? Then it tails off, right? Dies down. People go back to whatever their baseline was. And then end of the year, it's like, hey, it's November, 2 months left, because we look up and it's 2 months left in the year. 2 months left in the year. Let's hurry up and try to get stuff off the list. We're not doing that. No. We're not doing that this year. Or I should say in 2025. How about that? 2025. Y'all, don't just you owe yourself that intention all year. Not this just the beginning and at the end, and then in the middle it's kind of like whatever happens. No, control that too. Ask for what you want in that time too. Don't just wait till. Anyway, that's it. That is all for today. Because I guess y'all don't really have any questions, which is great. I'm going to give you guys one more look at the lake, especially if you are not in where it is warm. And just remember, I want you to remember this kind of peacefulness, this calmness. Just like, look at the water. Look how calm it is. Barely any ripples. Let's internalize some of that for this year, right? Let's internalize that. That's how we want to feel on the inside all the time. So, thank you for joining me on my walk. Yes, so many Houston, I know. Yes, there's so many Houston folks. We're everywhere. We are everywhere. I run into Houston people every time, all the time when I travel. It's like, I mean, it is fantastic. It's like you find Houston wherever you go. So anyway, oh, you're in the chat though, right? Marcia, are you in that chat? Because you said you used to live here. Are you in the Houston Exodus chat? The Texodus chat? If not, you probably could join that, and then, because sometimes they have get-togethers. I don't know if anything is planned. I used to be one of the people that would plan, and then Yolanda, which now she lives in Spain, right? So I used to do Houston. Not that I don't do Houston, it's just like I'm traveling in later this month, so I'm not, I thought I would do one in January, but it's not going to happen. I might do one in February, but there's other people that plan stuff, like they get together and do stuff. Oh, but not in the chat. Okay, get in the Texodus chat on WhatsApp, and actually, if you don't have it, DM me, I'll send you the link, and you can join the Texodus group chat. And sometimes they get together and do outings or things like that. And that way, if you want to get out and do stuff, you can get out and do some stuff and and see some people or whatever. So, but DM me and I'll send you that. I'd be happy to send that to you. Other than that, yes, Yolanda has a great channel. I love Yolanda. So we met at the first Houston Exodus meetup here in Houston. And so to go through seeing her when she first was on leave from the job, and and all that, and then we were talking about it and her desire to move abroad, and then to see her go through the whole process and finally move. And I mean, it's just wonderful to walk with somebody else through that path. It really, I mean, it is so nice to you're encouraging them, but it's you offer them the energy too to keep going. So to see that she's in Spain and she's doing her thing and she has a whole new life in Spain, that's what she wanted. And just to see, to be able to have seen that from our first meetup in Texas, and now she's in Spain and now she lives in Spain, and now, and I know, and her daughter was already there, but to see all of that, it's yeah, it happens. It happens. You make it happen, it happens. It takes some time. There's no time to that, right? But you make it happen, it does happen. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to finish my walk and do an audiobook. I don't know when I'll go live again, because I just make it up whenever I'm out. Hey, maybe that's a New Year's resolution for me, is to do better about being live on Instagram. We'll see. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Happy New Year to everybody. And I can't wait to see what everyone intends for their life in 2025.